Okay, I think I'm on here. Hey folks, how you doing? Dave McRae here. I'm shooting this on my new phone, the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. I just upgraded from the S6 to the S9, and holy snap and crap, what a difference. I'm a Galaxy guy, I'm an Android guy, and I usually upgrade every 3 phones because then you really notice a difference. So I went from the very first Galaxy to the S3, which was like, holy shit. And then from the S3 to the S6, it was like, holy shit. Well, from the S6 to the S9 Plus, it's like, holy shit. This is the best smartphone I've ever owned. That being said, I wanted to address a bit of the confusion that I believe some people had. Not everybody. I think most people got what I was trying to say. But enough people have messaged me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/manythingsdavemccrae, in regards to the video that I uploaded yesterday, where I talked about whether or not Michael Myers was... Oh, I'm going out of focus there. There we go. It's a new phone. Bear with me. Whether or not Michael Myers was supernatural or human in John Carpenter's classic from 1978, Halloween. And I think some people are under the impression that I was trying to make a case for the fact that Michael Myers is just human. He's just a tough guy. There's no supernatural quality or element to him whatsoever. Absolutely, unequivocally not. Listen, you guys know me. I've said this ad nauseum on this channel. Michael Myers from John Carpenter's classic from 1978 absolutely has a supernatural element to him. There's absolutely something very supernatural and weird about the guy, 100%. The argument I was making is that you can't really use all those things that Michael endured at the end of the movie as your sole lone evidence of his supernatural abilities, whether or not you believe he is half human, half supernatural, or all supernatural. And the reason is because it's not unprecedented for human beings who have no supernatural abilities whatsoever to in fact endure the same sort of punishment and survive. So, they're not mutually exclusive to each other, is the point I'm making. So that's why I think your best evidence for his slight supernatural edge, or that supernatural component that he definitely has in the original Halloween, is, are things that we know that no human could possibly do, right? So when I want to talk about the supernatural quality of Michael Myers... Oh, I think I went out of focus there. Sorry, guys. So when I want to talk about the supernatural quality of Michael Myers, I tend to lean more towards, the there, not there, right? Like he's suddenly there and he's suddenly not there. Like when Laurie Strode is watching him in Mr. Riddle's backyard from her bedroom window and, amongst the laundry sheets, right? And she looks at him and she doesn't even look away. She doesn't even look away, and all of a sudden he's gone. And it's like, what the fuck? How did he do that, right? Was that just her imagination? Did the sheets sort of move in a way that he was able to escape? We don't know. That's good shit. That's juicy shit. You combine that element of Michael Myers, the there, not there, right? Like when Laurie sees him through the school window and he's standing on the other side of the car. She looks away for a moment or two, looks back, and he's gone. It's like, how did he have enough time to get in the car and drive away? Like, certainly I would have seen him actually getting into the car, or at the very least pulling away, or something to that effect, right? That's the stuff about his character that we can rely on, because it's like, okay, yeah, we know that there's something going on here, right? There's something going on. So you combine that with all the juicy, rich, poetic, rhythmic dialogue that Dr. Loomis is spewing to the sheriff about, no, I watched him, you don't know who the fuck he is, I'm telling you, there's something going on with this guy. That's great stuff. I mean, there's some people that even say that, well, how did he know how to drive a car? Like, how did he know how to drive a car? That's pretty... I don't know. But there's nothing supernatural about that. Look up the definition of supernatural. There's nothing supernatural, about him driving a car, having never known how to drive a car. There's lots of kids and teenagers who go for joy rides, right, and drive a car quite successfully, put the car back in the driveway, and nobody's any of the wiser that they were gone. I mean, it's not unprecedented for people who have never driven a car before to drive it very successfully, right? They're not mutually exclusive to each other. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that those things, I don't think about those things. It's cool. It's weird, right? It's that nice little element to the movie. It helps everything else. But on their own, I still think you need those things where we know it's like, well, like, let's talk about that shit. Like, how did he do that? How do you think he did that? But Michael Myers is still a human, and that's what makes him so scary. That's what makes him so scary, is that he's not just a literal supernatural being like a Jason or something from Poltergeist or something. He's not that kind of a supernatural being. He is human, but he's got that supernatural edge, which makes him more frightening and scary, because it's like, fuck, because it feels more like it's grounded in reality. It feels more like it's legit. Like that's what's scary about him, right? Is that he's not walking through walls or levitating, or he's just walking like a man. Now, that doesn't mean that those things that happen to Michael Myers at the end of the 78 movie are not important or not creepy or do not play a significant role in telling that supernatural story. That's not what I'm saying. I did say in my video yesterday, I did say that out of all the things that happened to Michael Myers at the end of the 78 movie, all the punishment that he endures, I did say that, your best evidence of that supernatural element and vibe, whether you believe he's all supernatural with no human qualities or half supernatural or, whatever the case is, out of everything that happens to him, your best evidence is when he's shot 6 times, right? But I played, the devil's advocate, and I said, well, okay, but technically, it's not unprecedented for a human being with no supernatural elements or qualities whatsoever to be shot and survive. I mean, I saw, a bunch of people in the comments section saying, 50 Cent was shot 9 times and he survived, right? So, I get the reason why they put that in the movie at the end of the movie. I'm just playing the devil's advocate to show you that, if we really want to tackle that supernatural element of Michael Myers, I think your best evidence is all that shit that I've been talking about, and then some, right? Now, again, that doesn't mean that when he's shot 6 times and falls off the balcony, that's not important. No, that's absolutely important, because that is the pinnacle moment. That is the climactic moment where it's like, oh my God, right? And what happens moments before that? Was that the boogeyman? As a matter of fact, it was. It's like, as a matter of fact, it was. And that was supposed to be the end of the story, right? That was the end of the movie. Well, it was the end of the movie, but it was supposed to be the end of the story. Carpenter never wanted to do a Halloween 2, right? He said, well, I didn't see the reason for continuing the story because there was no more story to tell. That was it. You were never supposed to know anything about Michael Myers. He was the boogeyman, mysterious, the mystique, the unknown, the absence of character, the absence of motive. And they ruined that in the subsequent sequels, in my opinion. And I've been saying this ad nauseum on my channel for months, so I don't want anybody to think that I was trying to make an argument that Michael Myers in the 78 movie has no supernatural qualities or element to him whatsoever. That's not what I was saying. No, I was just simply saying that I would love to see people focus on other things rather than the knitting needle to the neck or the coat hanger to the eye or falling from the balcony. It's like, yeah, okay, but, without all those other things that lead up to that moment, I think those things at the end of the movie would be lost, because then it's almost just like a Bruce Willis taking, like punishment, you know what I mean? And he's, but with all those other things that lead up to that, it makes those things at the end of the movie, like much more rich and complete, right? And feel fulfilled. Combined with what Dr. Loomis is trying to sell, that really sells that supernatural edge. So anyways, in the meantime and in between time, I will talk to you guys soon. I'm loving this new fucking phone. Hey, comment below and let me know what kind of phones you guys have. I don't know. I'd love to know that. It's different. Let me know what phone you're rocking. Anybody still rocking a BlackBerry? I had a BlackBerry from 2009 to 2011. I loved it. It was one of my favorite phones. Not anymore. I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.